All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into one of the most important concepts in AI right now, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. It's this really powerful technique that's basically giving AI access to brand new information, and by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly how it all works.
So let's start with a big question, right? We have these incredibly powerful large language models. So why can't they know everything? Why can't they just tell you what's in your company's latest internal report? Or, what happened in the news this morning? That's the core problem we're going to unpack today.
And here's the deal. An LLM's knowledge, even though it's absolutely massive, is basically frozen in time. It's trained on this huge snapshot of the public internet. But that leaves a pretty big knowledge gap. The model has no clue what's in your private files, your company's internal wiki, or what happened in the world like 5 minutes ago.
And that is where RAG comes into play. It's designed to solve that exact problem. Think of it as the bridge that connects the AI to all this information it doesn't have. It lets the AI access and actually use brand new external knowledge.
So what is it exactly? Well, RAG, or Retrieval-Augmented Generation, is a system that connects a large language model to these outside data sources. We're talking about your private documents, company databases, even live news feeds. It uses that connection to give you answers that are way more accurate, way more relevant, and totally up to date.
I love this analogy. It's such a great way to think about it. If you imagine an LLM as the core of a brand new operating system, the kernel, then RAG is the critical piece that lets that operating system access files or connect to the internet. It's not just a feature, it's a fundamental capability.
Okay, so how does this bridge actually work under the hood? At its core, RAG follows a really simple but super powerful three-stage process. Let's break it down.
First up, you've got indexing. This is the prep work. You take your external documents, let's say a bunch of PDF reports, and you get them ready. You break them down and store them in a special database so they can be searched really efficiently. Then there's retrieval. When you ask a question, the system zips through that database and pulls out only the chunks of information that are the most relevant to your specific query. And finally, generation. This is where the LLM gets your original question plus the relevant stuff it just retrieved. It uses both to build a completely new and much more informed answer.
Theory's great, but let's see how this actually looks in practice. We're going to walk through a simplified version of what the code behind a basic RAG system is actually doing.
So here's how you'd build it. First, you load your document. Let's say it's a blog post. Next, you have to split that post into smaller, more manageable chunks. Why? Well, it's a lot easier to find one specific relevant paragraph than it is to search through an entire book, right? Each of those chunks is then embedded, which just means it's turned into a string of numbers and indexed in something called a vector store. Then you set up a retriever that knows how to search this special store. And finally, you chain it all together so that the moment you ask a question, the whole process just kicks off and runs automatically.
And this right here, this is the magic sauce. This is the actual instruction, the prompt that gets sent to the LLM. You see, it's not just, hey, answer this question. It's okay, you're an assistant. Your job is to use this specific information I just gave you to answer the question. The AI is being explicitly told to base its answer only on the fresh data you provide.
And that's the whole point. That's the incredible result of this entire process. You don't get an answer that's just a guess based on some old internet data. You get a precise, accurate response that's built directly from your own private, up-to-date information.
So there you have it. That's the basic RAG pipeline, from the core problem all the way to the solution. But this is really just scratching the surface. So what comes next?
What we've looked at today is really just the foundation. The field is absolutely exploding with more advanced techniques for every single step. Smarter ways to index information, much more sophisticated methods for retrieving it, and more clever ways to generate that final answer. This whole area is moving incredibly fast.
So let's end by going back to that really powerful analogy. If an AI is like a new kind of operating system, and RAG is the thing that connects it to all the world's data, private, public, and real-time, what new possibilities does that really unlock? I mean, what happens when our AI can see and understand everything we can? It's pretty fascinating to think about. Thanks for watching.